afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, everybody. Patience will be required today. I saw a lot of people in the chat about being late, folks. I'm trying. I'm a one-man operation here, but I need a little bit of patience today because I'm trying something out. I am attempting to stream by a different method. We are not using the Live View 600 today. Doing something a little bit different, and basically the goal today is to see when this solution fails. I need to see at what point does this solution fail. So at some point the video is going to drop out and I'm going to have to switch back to the actual the main stream. Whenever that happens, there will be a brief outage with the video, but you'll just have to bear with me here, folks. The main reason for streaming, once again, is to experiment and see if there's a way I can make this better, and I need to see at what point this video feed will fail so that I know how to address it. I appreciate everybody for joining today. I will get to your questions here in just a minute. I am not storm chasing. If we are storm chasing, I will always put it in the title. If storm chasing is not in the title, we are not chasing. We are live streaming here from eastern Iowa, and I am testing a different method of streaming here because I cannot do any sort of these experiments on severe weather days, because if and when they fail, then we're screwed. So. Once again, folks, this is going to fail. The video will fail today, and that's fine. It needs to. That's how we're going to build a system that's better than anybody else uses. We already have. It's just now a matter of building it out to an enterprise grade solution here. So we are not running on the bonded connection. We are only using one connection right now. Only using one, so the video is going to be significantly worse today than it normally is. Dropouts, because I need to test this method of video delivery and compression without it going through the live view encoder. So I just wanted to go ahead and go live for about an hour here. We are between Cedar Rapids and Dubuque right now.
There is one new special rain warning
in eastern Iowa. Could be storm chasing tomorrow. It's too early to tell. There might be some on Tuesday as well. Very fluid situation. Just make sure you're monitoring the channel, that you're subscribed. That's about the only thing I can say right now, because things do change all the time. Members, the daily update just posted. Were there any confirmed tornadoes last night? No. There's a group of storm chasers claiming that they were in a tornado somewhere in Illinois, and to me, if it was a tornado, it looked like it might have been a spin up that lasted 10 seconds type thing. So there was really no significant tornadoes that have been reported or documented. Yesterday was kind of a bust. There was some giant hail, though. Well, I shouldn't say giant. There was some big hail in parts of northern Missouri that we covered. No tornado threat tomorrow, no. Working on here, folks, is we already have a stream, I do believe, that is leaps and bounds ahead of quote-unquote competition. Six channel bonding and stuff. In fact, there's very few chasers that are doing that. The last 100. He and I started experimenting with the stuff at the same time, and I think he just switched over to it, so I think he's going to end up with a really good stream as well. But I am trying something a little at what point it fails so that I know what to do if this is a viable solution or not. Yeah, everybody always says get Starlink, but that's not, Starlink's a joke. It's not a mobile operation. I have Starlink, we have access to Starlink, Brett's got access to Starlink. Sure, in a hurricane when you're stationary, I'm sure it'd be great, but it is not a mobile application. It is literally in the terms of service that you do not use it mobile. They will blacklist your equipment. So we can't just, a lot of folks, I actually had to put the Starlink comment as like a bad word in the chat, because every stream we would have for a while there was people just going after the moderators and telling them that we didn't know what we were doing, just bashing the mods because we don't have Starlink. But it's not that easy, but the best way to do this is with bonded cellular connections, and 6 of them seems to be a really good number. But what I'm doing right now will eventually go out over all 6, but I'm trying to develop a proprietary piece of equipment that I am working on patenting that can be for sale to the masses or for lease. Basically will do what a live view is doing, and a third of the price. Time is only going to the use once. Kind of not really paying a whole lot of attention to the chat right now. I am mainly monitoring the stats on this because I need to see it fail. And I appreciate everyone who watched yesterday. It was a pretty late stream. Like I said several times toward the end there, that's why we never call it off. We always have to wait until at least midnight before you give up. Day out, it's 75 degrees. It was a lot warmer earlier. flooding in southwest Colorado, southeast Utah, kind of the Four Corners region there over the next couple of days as well. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. Cascade, Iowa, so we should be back into Dubuque here before too terrible long. In there from Australia. I don't think I've seen Cliff on the stream for a while. It's good to see you guys in there. Some of the leaves are starting to turn color on these trees already. Chasing tomorrow or not. It's going to depend on whether or not there's a reason to. All these low-end events are all last-minute decisions. Yeah, it's a really pretty day out. I agree. Not much for severe weather happening today. The hurricane models are indicating, or GFS anyway, are indicating that we could see maybe a tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico coming out of the Caribbean in the next couple of days. We're going to have to keep an eye on that next couple of days to a week and a half or so. I'm not holding my breath. Season has been pretty much non-existent other than out in the central Atlantic, which is good. Trying to test with this whole setup right now is at what threshold or at what point do we not have enough bit rate or bit flow, enough kilobits per second? Do we not have enough data being transmitted to hold a video feed at 1080p or 720p 60. Right now it seems to want to totally drop at about 900. I can't really disclose a whole lot of how I'm doing this because, like I said, this is a solution that's eventually I'm trying to make, enterprise worthy here at some point. But basically, I need to tweak this so that each channel can hold a video feed, and basically there's enough video compression to hold 720 60 fps or 1080 30 fps roughly at about 800 kilobits a second, even if it looks like trash. So basically need to squeak some sort of a video signal through it at least 800 kilobits, and then we're going to run that over six cellular channels, and it should be almost completely fail-proof, unless there is an area with literally zero cell phone service. There's a couple of those, but there's not many. The goal is if we could get just 300 kilobits a second of upload speed off of 6 channels, we could still have a very high quality video, or high quality enough anyway. Up 151 toward Dubuque. I want to thank everybody also yesterday for all those super chats and channel memberships. Got some ideas for the channel members too that I want to start trying. Is going, YouTube really seems to like to promote this subscription-based content, and a lot of content creators are going to it. And I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing for free, but I've got some ideas for some subscription-based content. And in addition to what we're doing, I need to get those worked on here. I like the color on this camera a little bit better though. This is not the regular camera. I intended to start the live stream. Essentially what has to happen now that we have a high quality live stream is we need to make it smaller. Everything's contained in a streaming backpack. It works great, etc. But it needs to be, a lot of people try to live stream with their phones, and that's fine until you get into a bad signal area, and then it's just worthless. So a couple of hints: if we could give basically have a device that gives us the internet connection or the video connection to the internet, that could tether via a USB to Ethernet or USB to Cat5 on-the-go cable that also allows pass-through charging, like to so we could go USB-C to Ethernet with a splitter on it to allow it to charge, and then have a direct connection so that we're not using any of the cell phone, but have a direct connection to basically a box that's doing exactly what the live view is doing, but better. Then folks could literally use a phone and maybe a 7-foot or a 4 to 7 foot cable, plug it into the cigarette lighter, set the box in the passenger seat, you're good to go. You still have cables and wires, but it's not nearly the same as a big backpack or something. And then we could take the streaming box or the device, and it could be thrown in a small backpack or clipped to a belt or something, much like a live view in a way, and take it with it. Basically use the phone as the camera, because phone cameras are awesome for live streaming. That's the problem, is the live views are big, they're clunky, they're huge, they're overkill for what they are. We can literally do exactly what a live view or a Teradek is doing, but on a more efficient scale, and there's not anybody doing that. That solution does not exist. There's been some people in the IRL community that have tried, like with the Bella box and everything, but it's too experimental. It's not a solid solution. It fails. It has to be restarted often. There's problems. What the live streaming community, both IRL, Twitch, storm chasing, and everything, see, now my audience, I'm not talking about every storm chaser needs this, but every IRL streamer needs this. So if we can develop this, which I have developed, we just need to make it efficient. If we can make this work, it'll probably be a really big game changer in the streaming industry, period, because you get the LiveView 600 and you should see it. It's an entire backpack. It literally takes up my whole passenger seat. And we can shrink that down and make it a lot better. The advantage of using a cell phone, a current cell phone, like an S22 Ultra or a Pixel, is the cameras are very good at low light. So even at night, they still do very, very well. For example, if you watch Reed Timmer's streams, oftentimes even when he's live streaming at night, his live stream looks good. Now he's just using a cell phone in the dash. That's got severe limitations. That's what he likes to do. That's fine. If it works for him, it works for everyone. But the video quality at night is good when he's in a good signal area, because he's using like an iPhone 12 or something. The iPhone cameras and some of the current Android ones too are really good in low light. And there's no reason to, when I get out of the car to videotape a tornado, I'm using my iPhone. I'm not using my big Canon XA50 or 40 or whatever it is. I'm using my iPhone. So if we can develop something that can not only stream but record in 4K locally, if there's, let's say, a tornado or flooding and I get out of the car, I'm taking one camera, one device, and I'm recording, and you're seeing exactly what I'm recording. It's just the problem is using a cell phone with one connection to the internet. It's not stable enough, and we don't get enough bandwidth to push 1080-60. And I have no problem trying to push beyond 1080. The goal is, when we're in an area that fully supports a higher resolution, I would like to stream beyond 1080 and have it auto scale back so we can get really, really good resolution. I mean, I have no problem pushing 4K if we're in an urban area. Obviously, for the YouTube, it works okay on YouTube because YouTube transcodes all this. So if your connection doesn't support 4K, YouTube will automatically know that, and they'll put you at 720 or 480. But for the folks on Wi-Fi or whatever, or on their TVs, could literally get a 4K stream of a tornado live in some parts of the country, and that's what we're shooting for, because that's just not happening yet. And with the solution that I'm trying to figure out, this would also allow us to do 360 streaming with that GoPro. So I'm experimenting with this. So that's why we're doing all this experimentation today. And I have to be live to do it. experiment while I'm storm chasing, because this is not the quality we want to give while chasing, obviously. And the sun's already about down to the horizon. It's too bad, but it's that time of year. I've got the information I need. Probably switch back to the other live stream here. Alright everybody, I think we're going to pull over up here and I'll switch back to the live view. I think I got what I needed. So we're going to need it up through here because the cell coverage is terrible. Why is this guy right on my back bumper? God, I hate that. I think I got what we needed. But yeah, we're in Dubuque now. Sitting here at a stoplight for, not quite sure why. It's been red another direction now. There we go. Once we get to the other side of Dubuque, I'm going to stop and put this back over on the regular encoder here. I got the information I needed. Actually, we'll just do it here at the stoplight. next red light, I'll switch this over. Alright, so we'll operate like this for a little bit. Anyway, folks, it's been a busy couple of days here, but I don't think tomorrow's going to be anything too spectacular. But if we do plan a live stream, I will go ahead and make note of that in the morning as soon as I can, so you can all be ready for it. Crossing the river here pretty soon. about 80 degrees here. Hopefully a nice day out. I'll keep the stream up for a couple of more minutes yet. We've figured out what we needed to figure out. I'm going to try to get that 360 video processed tomorrow. If there is no storm chase tomorrow, then I'll be able to get that done tomorrow. If there is one, it'll have to wait until the next day. I think we got some really good video, especially that 360 video from the hailstorm is going to be pretty good. Windshield crack is not as big as it looked. We'll definitely have to replace it at some point. Riding their bike. Yeah, we've been through Dubuque a lot in the past couple of weeks. But I try to stream every day, or almost every day. It's not feasible to stream every single day. We did in August though, for most of it anyway, but the goal is to stream almost every day. If we can stream 5 out of 7 days a week, I'm happy. I did pin the website in the comments if anybody's interested in finding all the social media links, as well as the Discord server and the merchandise store link. I don't think I left Missouri until like 1:30. I stayed in Hannibal last night. Yesterday didn't really go as planned. I'm not surprised though that those storms waited till later to happen. It's kind of what models were showing, but the tornado threat definitely did not materialize, which is good, of course. Alright, sorry about that. I hit the power cord with my foot. So we had to. But I'm It's kind of a dead zone through here. This area is kind of rough. Alright, so just coming into town here. Well, like I said, I'm going to keep the stream active for another 10-15 minutes here, and then we'll let it go. But thanks for following along, everyone. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, all that. You're, of course, welcome to join the Discord server if you would like to. Probably gonna be stuck behind this guy, I think. It's too bad that it gets dark so early. It's kind of a pain for storm chasing because, you know, we lose daylight so early. So sometimes when we get storms that form between, you know, 6 and 7 p.m., like right now, you don't really get to see them at all. Everything's after dark. I don't think I stopped at the sign. No, definitely stopped at it. Some clouds off to the I guess it'd be the west. I haven't looked at radar or anything. Probably should. Yeah, there's actually some storms off to our west. Looking at radar, they are way back there out toward Waterloo, Iowa. It's about 100 miles. It's probably about 100 miles, I think. Let me see if I can measure that. About 75 to 80 miles off to our west. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this time of year. Get through fall and winter and get back to spring and summer, hopefully soon. Pretty high-based rain showers and storms over there, because I can actually see the sun underneath them, between them and the horizon from this distance. In Grand Rapids on Thursday. That's pretty cold. Alright folks, I'm going to keep the stream up until we get through this little town of Benton here. So once we get through the little town of Benton here, I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream down because I want to test something here as well. But I wanted to go live for just a little bit so we could see that part of northeast Iowa. I will have an update in the morning regarding if we chase or not, but that will be in the morning. I don't know if it's going to make sense to or not tomorrow. I think Wednesday, right? I think Wednesday we may find ourselves in northeast Ohio along the lake. I'm not 100% sure. That severe threat may end up in Canada. I'm not quite sure about that, so we'll have to keep an eye on it very closely. So I want to thank everybody who is a YouTube member, who sends super chats, PayPal contributions, merchandise purchases, following on social media, all that stuff. Thank you everyone for the support. Wouldn't be able to do this otherwise. So sorry for ending it kind of abruptly here, but I just noticed something here that I want to test, and I have to go offline for that. Thanks everyone for following along yesterday. It's definitely a successful chase, just kind of a later one than it's expected. So alright everybody, take care. I hope you all have a great night, and I will be live for something most likely tomorrow. Be sure to follow on Facebook and Twitter, especially Twitter. Facebook, is a little bit finicky, but I would recommend Twitter, and then of course the YouTube community page. I'll put some information out there as well right away in the morning. Take care and have a good rest of your evening, everybody.